And for Off the Block, I'm Vinny Lopes, and we are now joined by Penn State men's volleyball coach Mark Pavlik. And Coach, you're up at Penn State right now. It's a little quiet right now with all the students gone, but I'm sure as always it's been a little bit of a busy off season for you. What has this last couple months been like since we last saw your team and you up in Palo Alto?
I think more than anything else with the camps here, that's kept us busy, and trying to put together next year's schedule. That's kept us busy, trying to stay on board with some of the things that the EIVA wants to try to do, and getting ready to welcome Charleston into the EIVA. So there's been some things going on, but it certainly hasn't been overwhelming. It's been a nice, easy summer so far.
Yeah. And I want to ask you about one of your former players in particular, or a couple of them. It felt like, at times the U.S. men's volleyball team this year was a Penn State alumni team traveling on out there. What was your feeling as a coach just seeing all your former players competing and finishing with a bronze medal in the World Championships?
No, I just think that it's more of, I was part of fortunate to be part of their path, and certainly Max and Maddie and Aaron now have continued that, and then also in the background out there, Will Price and Joe Sunder have been in Anaheim this summer too. So it's nice to say that we were a mile marker along their journey, and it's nice to see them still trying to achieve the excellence that they wanted to achieve while they were here. So nothing but good thoughts for them, and trying to stay in touch and make sure that they know that Nittany Nation is behind them.
Yeah. And Coach, you alluded to a little bit earlier talking about your schedule and getting that set for 2016, and I know that you're still ironing out some of the details of some of the matches, but are there any non-conference matches that you can announce at this time?
Well, I think we can unofficially announce some things there, through the Penn State procedure of what I have to do paperwork-wise to run everything through our finance people and make sure that they're on board with everything. The beauty of having a schedule is if you can go back 20 years, and mine really hasn't changed any. We play the same people that we played then, and one of the good things with us hosting the NCAAs this year, I think it makes us a travel destination for some teams to want to get a lay of the land, and we've got a 4-year agreement going between UCLA, USC, Ohio State, and ourselves that we're going to kick off the season this year, January 7th and 8th, Thursday and Friday, here at Rec Hall, and with those 4 teams where we'll just have the general crossover. We won't play Ohio State, and SC and UCLA won't play, so we'll just have the interconference matches with those teams here. And then in the first weekend of March, Long Beach and Northridge will be here, and the 4th team rounding that out will be Mount Olive. So we'll cross over again, and on Monday, the 21st of March, Irvine's coming in. So I guess they're going to play us, and they're going to head down to play Mason, I want to say the 23rd, and then head out to Hawaii from here. So, excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah.
David Niffen is bringing his team out here. Then Lewis and Loyola will be here. Fort Wayne and Ball State will be here. We'll head out to Lewis and Loyola this year, and of course the home-and-home Big Ten matches against Ohio State are something I think both teams look forward to. And I think that's, then from there you've got I think we got Mount Olive on the schedule. They're going to come up here a second time, and we're going to have a match with them. And then that leaves us to the EIVA schedule and the inaugural season of Charleston being involved in the EIVA. So they'll be up here for the first time, and we'll head down to Charleston, West Virginia for the first time. So it's going to be a pretty interesting year for us.
Yeah. And I want to ask you about that schedule because as you were saying, lots of teams coming into Penn State. And how nice is that you may not have to travel as much, especially after the year you had last year, where I think you guys logged something like 15,000 miles just in travel during the regular season?
Well, it just wasn't last year, Ben. I think we've traveled over the last 4 years. It's been we've logged a lot of miles. So this year it's going to be very nice that our longest trip will be out of the way the second week of the season when we head out to play Lewis and Loyola. Then a month later we're busting up to meet Harvard and then down to Sacred Heart. So after that, the longest trip we're going to have is out to Ohio State. And the longest stretch of road games we're going to have is we're going to have a weekend where we go to Princeton and New Jersey Tech. And then that next Tuesday, we're at Ohio State. So it's something that, obviously, with us hosting, we don't necessarily need to get good at playing on the road. We need to take care of business in the EIVA, hopefully get the EIVA championships back here at home, take care of business there, and get ready for the NCAA championships here.
Yeah. And, Coach, your teams are always, seem to be peaking towards the end of the season, but do you feel that with the lack of travel that they're going to be a little bit more fresher potentially towards the end of the season?
I think the pressure always comes when you're in matches that everybody says you're supposed to win. And historically, you look at the EIVA matches, the playoff matches, and everybody is, whether correctly or incorrectly, have penciled us in as, oh, you're going to be there easily. In my opinion, it's never been easy, and I think that the beauty of hosting the NCAAs makes that EIVA playoff vastly important. Now, the good thing about this is we've been here and done that, so I think our guys know exactly what's on the line. They know that they've got to take it one step at a time, and we're not going to worry about EIVA championships until the time rolls around to where we're in them. Until then, you just want to be 1-0 after your next match, and if we can keep that mentality through the year, I think that will serve us pretty well.
And, Coach, I did want to ask you a little bit about Charleston, maybe a little bit of a different question. I'd just love to get your take because, you play some teams where traditionally Penn State doesn't go there to play them. What is that like for you as a coach when you walk into Charleston or Sacred Heart or one of those places and, this is the marquee game that a lot of those fans have been waiting for to see you guys play against their team?
Well, I think when you put it like that, it's certainly something that, I go back to the line that Wayne Gretzky's dad had told him when he was young, and he says, you never take a day off because it may be the only time somebody sees a Wayne Gretzky play, and you want to leave them understanding that you're a great player. And I think we kind of try to take that same tack here, that if we go someplace and we are their feature match, and it's the first time that somebody's had a Big Ten school, let alone Penn State, in their gym, or a school from the Big Five conference in the gym, or their Division II or Division III team. I think we want to make sure that we leave them thinking, hey, we saw a good team. So I think that's a little bit of what I think. But once the whistle blows, I think all that goes out the window, and you're just trying to win the match.
All right. And final question for you, Coach. Looking at your team coming back in 2016, I know that you're going to have some pieces that you're going to need to replace from last year's team, but what are you expecting from your team next season?
I don't know. I think the main expectation that we have is the leadership is going to be strong. I think you look at the 4 seniors that are coming back. You got Taylor Hammond, Zach Parrott, Spencer Sauter, who've been here for 4 years, 5 years in Taylor's, and you got Matt Seifert. And Seif is one of the best leaders we've ever had in this program. So I think that's the first expectation, is that leadership is going to get this team understanding that it's this team. It's not last year's team. It's certainly not next year's team. It's this team. And you worry about today, and you don't worry about tomorrow till it gets here, and you just try to get a little bit better every day. To say that I have expectations of who's going to be where and what kind of performances we're going to get out of people, then if I did, I'd probably feel a lot better right now than I do. I just think that it's going to be a process, and we could be in a position where we maybe lose a match here or there that we shouldn't lose, and maybe we win a match here or there that on paper we shouldn't win. But I think over the course of the season, if our leadership is strong, if the guys come in and follow that leadership, we're going to be in pretty good shape come mid-March, late April.